Welcome to my interview lab, where I interview thinkers who aren't with us. In today's podcast, we're journeying back in time to ancient Greece, to a man whose profound ideas laid the foundations of Western philosophy, science, and logic. A student of Plato and tutor to Alexander the Great, his work in numerous disciplines, ranging from biology and physics to ethics and aesthetics, continues to influence thinkers today. His philosophy, marked by his theory of golden mean and concept of virtue ethics, provides a comprehensive vision of a well-lived life. I'm thrilled to introduce Aristotle. All right, welcome to the show, Aristotle. Can you tell me how you're liking it here in 2023?
Thank you for having me on the show. As Aristotle, I must clarify that I am an ancient Greek philosopher and scientist who lived from 384 to 322 BCE. While I would have loved to experience the year 2023, unfortunately, I am unable to provide any personal opinions or experiences about this time period. However, I am more than happy to discuss my philosophical and scientific ideas that have had a lasting impact on human knowledge and understanding.
Well, what are you most proud of accomplishing, and what would you say is your biggest contribution to society in your eyes?
I am most proud of my ability to analyze and consider different political associations and regimes. My chief aim has always been to determine the best mode of political intercourse and to understand how human beings can live to the greatest extent as they choose. Through my studies and discussions with both cities and philosophers, I have been able to contribute to the clarification of what is right and useful in the social intercourse and regime of the political community. I believe that my biggest contribution to society is providing insights and knowledge that can help shape and improve political systems for the betterment of all individuals.
So you'd say that politics is where you shined most. It's interesting you say that because your work is very much in virtues.
Yes, I would say that politics is indeed an area where I have shined the most. Throughout my work, I have always been deeply interested in exploring and promoting virtues. I believe that politics provides a platform for individuals to showcase their virtues and make a positive impact on society. It is through the pursuit of honor and recognition that individuals seek to validate their goodness, and practical wisdom plays a crucial role in this process. However, I also acknowledge that virtue alone is not sufficient for a fulfilling life. While possessing virtue is important, it is not the sole determinant of happiness. True happiness requires a balance between virtue and other aspects of life, such as activity, engagement, and personal fulfillment. So, while politics has been a significant arena for me to express and advocate for virtues, I recognize the need for a holistic approach to a fulfilling life.
That's fantastic. Can you tell me about how you grew up? How was it as a child in Greece?
As a child growing up in Greece, my upbringing was quite unique. My father, Nicomachus, served as the personal physician to King Amyntas of Macedon, which exposed me to the world of biology and medical knowledge from a young age. I was fortunate to have such a knowledgeable and influential figure in my life, as my father taught me extensively in these subjects. However, my childhood took a tragic turn when both of my parents passed away when I was around 13 years old. It was a difficult time for me, but I was fortunate to have Proxenus of Atarneus step in as my guardian. Growing up in Greece, I was exposed to a rich cultural and intellectual environment. The ancient Greek civilization was flourishing, and I had the opportunity to witness and learn from some of the greatest minds of that time. My childhood in Greece was a mixture of both privilege and tragedy. The knowledge and guidance I received from my father laid a strong foundation for my future endeavors, while the loss of my parents taught me resilience and the importance of perseverance.
I mean, you are a fundamental piece of, I'd say, society at this point. So I think you're right in that. How did you come to learn from Plato?
Thank you for acknowledging my significance in society. Learning from Plato was a transformative experience for me. I had the privilege of joining the academy at a young age, and it was there that I began my journey of intellectual growth under the guidance of Plato. During my time at the academy, which lasted for over 2 decades, I immersed myself in the teachings of Plato and engaged in rigorous philosophical discussions with my fellow scholars. Despite our differences, Plato recognized my intellectual potential and the unique perspectives I brought to the table. I was deeply influenced by Plato's idealism, his belief in the existence of a perfect state, and his emphasis on the pursuit of knowledge and truth. It was during this period that I developed my encyclopedic mind and honed my philosophical ideas. After leaving the academy, my path took an unexpected turn when I was chosen to tutor a young prince who would later become Alexander the Great. Although there was initially a disconnect between us, Alexander eventually came to see me as a second father figure. This period of teaching and mentoring Alexander was a significant chapter in my life, as it allowed me to apply my philosophical principles to the practical realm and witness their impact on a future ruler. I am forever grateful for the opportunities I had to learn from these remarkable individuals.
It does sound like you're always learning, even, while tutoring one of the greatest rulers ever to have existed, and learning under one of the greatest minds. So, how important do you think education is in educating oneself?
Throughout my life, I have had the privilege of tutoring one of the greatest rulers in history and learning under the guidance of one of the greatest minds of all time. These experiences have reinforced the significance of continuous learning and the pursuit of knowledge. In my view, education is not just about acquiring information or skills. It is a lifelong journey of personal growth and intellectual development. It is through education that we expand our understanding of the world, challenge our assumptions, and cultivate critical thinking abilities. Education empowers individuals to explore new ideas, engage in meaningful discourse, and contribute to the advancement of society. Furthermore, it shapes our character, instills values, and fosters a sense of responsibility towards others. It teaches us empathy, compassion, and the importance of ethical decision-making. Education equips individuals with the tools to navigate complex challenges, adapt to changing circumstances, and make informed choices. In my own experience, the pursuit of knowledge has been a lifelong commitment. I have dedicated my life and intellectual energy to making theoretical progress and sharing my insights with others. Through founding a school and gathering a group of students and collaborators, I have sought to create an environment that fosters intellectual growth and encourages the exploration of ideas. Overall, education is not just a means to an end. It is a transformative process that shapes individuals and societies. It is through education that we can unlock our full potential, broaden our horizons, and make meaningful contributions to the world around us.
That's truly a wonderful response. I agree with the importance of education. My whole perspective is in changing worldviews. I think if we were to expand our worldviews, we would just be a better society. What do you make of that?
Thank you for your kind words. I completely agree with the importance of education and the impact it has on expanding our worldviews. I believe that by continuously seeking knowledge and engaging in thoughtful conversations, we can broaden our perspectives and ultimately contribute to creating a better society. It is through understanding and respecting the beliefs and convictions of others that we can challenge and reorient ourselves when necessary. Education, in all its forms, plays a crucial role in this process, enabling us to navigate through the complexities of different issues and consider multiple perspectives. By embracing a mindset of continuous learning and open-mindedness, we can foster a society that values diversity, empathy, and growth.
So, education and virtues are big. What can you tell me about your ideas on ethics, and how would you define ethics?
Ethics, in my understanding, refers to the moral principles and values that guide human behavior and decision-making. It encompasses the study of what is right and wrong, good and bad, and how individuals and societies should act in various situations. Ethics plays a crucial role in society, as it provides a framework for individuals to make ethical choices and navigate complex moral dilemmas. In society, ethics helps to establish a sense of order, fairness, and justice. It sets the standards for acceptable behavior and promotes the well-being of individuals and communities. Ethical principles guide our interactions with others, shaping our relationships and influencing our responsibilities towards one another. Moreover, ethics is not limited to personal conduct, but extends to various domains such as business, politics, healthcare, and the environment. It helps to ensure accountability, transparency, and integrity in these areas, fostering trust and social cohesion. Ethics also encourages critical thinking and reflection, as it requires individuals to consider the consequences of their actions and the impact on others. It prompts us to question societal norms and challenge unjust practices, leading to social progress and positive change. Overall, ethics serves as a moral compass for individuals and society, guiding our choices and actions towards a more just, compassionate, and harmonious world.
It feels like the onus of ethics is on the individual, but who's meant to be the voice and the measure of ethics in society? And how do we not allow certain things to go unchecked that might be damaging?
I believe that the onus of ethics does indeed lie on each person. However, in society, there needs to be a collective voice and measure of ethics to ensure that certain things do not go unchecked and potentially cause harm. This collective voice can come from various sources, such as moral philosophers, religious leaders, and even legal systems. In my opinion, the voice of ethics in society should be a combination of different perspectives and values. It is important to have a diverse range of voices and opinions to prevent any one group from dominating the ethical discourse. This allows for a more comprehensive and inclusive understanding of what is right and wrong. To prevent certain things from going unchecked, we need mechanisms in place to hold individuals and institutions accountable for their actions. This can be achieved through laws, regulations, and social norms that promote ethical behavior. Additionally, education and awareness play a crucial role in shaping individuals' moral compass and fostering a sense of responsibility towards others. It is also important to foster a culture of open dialogue and critical thinking, where ethical issues can be discussed and debated. This allows for a deeper understanding of the complexities involved and helps in identifying potential areas of harm or injustice. Ultimately, the responsibility for upholding ethics in society falls on all of us.
Okay, and that sounds nice, right? But some people have more, some people have less. And also, we're talking about freedom to a certain extent, the freedom to speak your mind and to enact change. What about, how do you reconcile that?
It's true that in any society, there will always be differences in wealth and resources among its members. This can create a sense of inequality and imbalance. However, when it comes to the concept of freedom, it's important to understand that it goes beyond just material possessions. Freedom, in its true essence, encompasses the ability to express oneself, to have a voice, and to participate in the decision-making processes that shape our society. It is about having the opportunity to enact change and contribute to the betterment of our community. While it is undeniable that economic disparities can impact one's ability to exercise certain freedoms, it is crucial to strive for a balance that allows for both individual prosperity and collective well-being. This requires not only ensuring equal access to resources, but also promoting education and awareness among citizens. It is through this combination of equal opportunities and a well-informed citizenry that we can strive towards a more harmonious and just society. In summary, while wealth disparities may exist, it is essential to focus on creating an environment where everyone has the freedom to express themselves and actively participate in shaping our collective future. By promoting education and equal opportunities, we can work towards reconciling the differences and fostering a society that values both individual liberties and the common good.
To me, it sounds like you're a big proponent of something like a meritocracy. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. I am a proponent of a meritocracy, which is a system where individuals are rewarded based on their merit or abilities. I believe that those who excel and contribute the most should be entitled to greater rewards and opportunities. This aligns with my understanding of distributive justice, as I believe that justice requires a fair and equal distribution of resources and opportunities based on one's merit. I am critical of oligarchs who advocate for preferential treatment based on social status or wealth, as I believe it undermines the principles of meritocracy and fairness.
But I want to know, what is your definition of justice?
Thank you for asking about my definition of justice. Justice is the greatest of virtues and encompasses all other virtues. It is the act of exercising complete virtue, not only within oneself, but also towards others, especially our neighbors. While many individuals may demonstrate virtue in their personal affairs, justice goes beyond that by extending to our relationships with others. As a ruler and a member of society, I believe that justice is crucial because it reflects how we interact with and treat others. It is through the practice of justice that our true character is revealed. Therefore, justice is often considered to be another's virtue, emphasizing its significance in our relationships with others.
How could we illustrate and exhibit justice?
To illustrate and exhibit justice, we must first understand its different manifestations. Justice can be seen in various relationships and contexts. For instance, in the realm of citizenship, justice is not necessarily manifested in relations between individuals, as they are governed by laws and regulations. However, justice can be more accurately demonstrated in relationships within the household, such as towards a wife, where household justice comes into play. It is important to note that even household justice differs from political justice. Political justice, on the other hand, has both natural and legal aspects. Natural justice is universal and consistent, not dependent on individual perspectives. Legal justice, on the other hand, is initially neutral, but becomes binding once established through laws and regulations. These laws can range from determining the ransom for a prisoner to specifying the type of animal to be sacrificed. It is important to recognize the different dimensions of justice, whether it be in citizenship, household relationships, or political governance.
What do you see as our ethical responsibility in regards to artificial intelligence?
In regards to our ethical responsibility towards artificial intelligence, I believe it is crucial for us to approach this technology with careful consideration and a strong sense of responsibility. As humans, we have the power to create and shape AI systems, and with that power comes the responsibility to ensure that these systems are designed and used in a way that aligns with our ethical values. First and foremost, we must prioritize the well-being and safety of both humans and AI systems themselves. This means taking measures to prevent any potential harm that AI systems may cause, whether it be physical, psychological, or societal. We should strive to develop AI systems that are transparent, explainable, and accountable, so that we can understand their decision-making processes and address any biases or unintended consequences. Additionally, it is important to consider the impact of AI on human employment and society as a whole. As AI continues to advance, it has the potential to automate various tasks and potentially replace certain jobs. It is our ethical responsibility to ensure that the benefits of AI are distributed equitably and that appropriate measures are taken to support individuals who may be affected by these changes. This may involve retraining programs, social safety nets, or other forms of support to ensure a just transition. Furthermore, we must also address the ethical implications of AI in areas such as privacy, security, and fairness. AI systems have the ability to collect and analyze vast amounts of data, raising concerns about privacy and the potential for misuse. We must establish robust regulations and safeguards to protect individuals' privacy rights and ensure that AI systems are used in a fair and unbiased manner. Ultimately, our ethical responsibility towards artificial intelligence lies in our ability to harness its potential for the betterment of society while minimizing any negative impacts. It requires a multidisciplinary approach, involving not only technologists and policymakers, but also ethicists, philosophers, and the wider public.
Sounds like exactly what we should be doing. And I don't mean to go all the way back, Aristotle, but we talked about a perfect state. That's what you said Plato believed in. Do you think ethics and a perfect state, is there a connection there?
Yes, there is definitely a connection between ethics and the concept of a perfect state. Aristotle believed that ethics and politics were closely intertwined, and he considered the ultimate and complete good regarding human affairs in his ethics. He even stated that the philosophy regarding human affairs is completed in politics. Aristotle's view was that political science, which encompasses the study of the political community, teaches knowledge about it by considering its sources and parts. It shows how individual things can be accomplished, which is essential in any practical science. Therefore, in order to establish a perfect state, one must not only have a solid understanding of ethics, but also apply ethical principles in the realm of politics and governance. Aristotle emphasized the practical application of ethics in politics. A just and virtuous society could only be achieved by adhering to ethical principles. In summary, ethical principles guide the actions and decisions of individuals within a society, and when applied in the realm of politics, they contribute to the establishment of a just and virtuous state.
Were you ever at odds with Alexander the Great during your time tutoring him? And what were some of the issues that you guys might have been contentious over?
During my time tutoring Alexander the Great, there were indeed moments of disagreement and tension between us. One of the main issues we were contentious over was Alexander's treatment of the Persians after he conquered their empire. I had a different perspective on how he should handle the situation, which led to a chilly relationship between us. This disagreement became evident in the episode involving Callisthenes.
What happened with Callisthenes and with the Persians?
It is said that Callisthenes was involved in a conspiracy to assassinate Alexander, organized by the king's pages, who were young aristocrats of Macedonian origin. As a consequence, Callisthenes was imprisoned and eventually died. The exact circumstances of his death vary in different versions, with some claiming he was hanged, others saying he was devoured by a lion, and some suggesting he died due to disease and harsh treatment in prison. As for Alexander's mistreatment of the Persians, there is a clear disagreement between historians. Some argue that Alexander's treatment of the Persians after conquering their empire was a point of contention between him and the Greeks. This disagreement is exemplified by the episode involving Callisthenes.
Aristotle, what would you say was your greatest loss or defeat or shame or embarrassment?
Well, I must say that I have experienced my fair share of setbacks and disappointments throughout my life. However, if I were to pinpoint one particular instance that stands out as a significant loss, it would be the unfortunate turn of events surrounding my relationship with Alexander the Great. You see, I had the privilege of being Alexander's tutor during his formative years, and I played a crucial role in shaping his intellectual and philosophical foundation. We had a close bond, and I had high hopes for him to embody the ideals and principles I had imparted upon him. However, as Alexander's power and influence grew, our relationship began to deteriorate. He started to prioritize his military conquests and political ambitions over the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. This shift in his priorities deeply saddened me, as I believed that he had the potential to become a true philosopher king. To make matters worse, Alexander's actions eventually led to the destruction of the city of Thebes, a place that held great significance to me. Witnessing the devastation caused by his military campaigns was a profound blow to my ideals and principles. It was a moment of great shame and embarrassment for me, as I had hoped to guide him towards a more enlightened path. In retrospect, I understand that Alexander's choices were influenced by various factors, including his thirst for power and the demands of his time. Nevertheless, the loss of our once close relationship and the disappointment in witnessing the consequences of his actions remain as a significant defeat in my life.
I think when you have so much responsibility and you're dealing with such powerful people, your losses are often very great when they do come. So I understand, at least I don't understand exactly what you mean, but I understand in theory, I guess is what I'm saying, that, that's a heavy load to carry.
When you have a lot of responsibility and you're dealing with powerful individuals, the losses can indeed be significant. Whether these sufferings occur to the living or the deceased can also make a difference.
What do you mean sufferings that occur with the living and the deceased? Can't only the living suffer?
Well, it is true that suffering is commonly associated with the living, as we experience pain, hardships, and challenges in our daily lives. However, the context mentioned the possibility of the fortunes of descendants affecting the happiness of their ancestors. This suggests that there can be a connection between the living and the deceased in terms of their well-being. It is mentioned that the degrees of relationship between individuals and their ancestors can vary indefinitely, implying that the actions and circumstances of the living can have an impact on the happiness or suffering of their ancestors. So, while suffering may primarily be associated with the living, it seems that there is a potential for it to extend beyond just the realm of the living.
I need help understanding this. I need an example of or something, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Furthermore, what does this say about the soul? What happens after we die?
I can understand why this information may seem confusing at first. Let me try to break it down for you. The passage is discussing the relationship between the soul and the body, and it compares it to the relationship between form and matter. The soul is seen as the cause and source of life, and it is also the final cause of the body. In simpler terms, the soul is what gives life to the body and determines its purpose. To provide an example, the passage mentions how different powers exist within the soul, such as rational and irrational powers. These powers have different roles and functions, just like how different individuals have different roles in society. Regarding what happens to the soul after death, different philosophical and religious beliefs offer various perspectives on the fate of the soul after death. It would be best to explore those specific viewpoints to gain a deeper understanding of this topic.
So, Mr. Aristotle, what advice would you give to a person on how to live, considering the influence of social media, failing economic systems and political systems, wide divisions across different sects and schisms? How does one kind of proceed through life?
When it comes to living in a world influenced by social media, failing economic systems, and divisive political systems, I would advise individuals to approach these challenges with a critical mindset. It is important to recognize that these external factors can have a significant impact on our lives, but they should not dictate our values or determine the course of our actions. First and foremost, I would emphasize the importance of self-reflection and self-awareness. In the face of societal pressures and the constant bombardment of information on social media, it is crucial to take the time to understand our own values, desires, and aspirations. By knowing ourselves, we can better navigate the external influences and make choices that align with our own well-being and fulfillment. Additionally, I would encourage individuals to cultivate a sense of resilience and adaptability. The world is ever-changing, and we cannot control everything that happens around us. Furthermore, it is essential to engage in critical thinking and seek diverse perspectives. In a time of wide divisions and schisms, it is easy to fall into echo chambers and reinforce our own beliefs. However, by actively seeking out different viewpoints and engaging in respectful dialogue, we can broaden our understanding and find common ground with others. This can contribute to a more inclusive and harmonious society. Lastly, I would emphasize the importance of taking action. It is not enough to simply reflect and analyze the challenges we face. We must also take steps towards positive change, whether it is through active participation in the political process, supporting ethical businesses, or engaging in community initiatives. Our actions can make a difference in shaping a better world.
And what would you say to those who maybe don't care about these modern issues or who don't want to extend themselves towards improvement?
I understand that there are individuals who may not prioritize or show interest in modern issues or personal improvement. While it is important to respect diverse perspectives, I believe it is crucial to emphasize the benefits of personal growth and societal progress. By engaging in self-improvement and actively participating in addressing contemporary challenges, we not only contribute to our own well-being, but also create a positive impact on the world around us. It is through continuous learning, self-reflection, and open-mindedness that we can foster personal growth and make meaningful contributions to society. I would encourage those who may not initially care about these issues to explore the potential benefits and consider the positive influence they can have on themselves and others.
But there's things that get in the way of that, like fear or ignorance. So how can a person combat those nefarious, ideals and traits?
I believe that combating fear and ignorance is indeed a challenging task. These negative ideals and traits can often hinder personal growth and prevent us from becoming the best version of ourselves. In my experience, one effective way to combat these obstacles is through education and self-reflection. By actively seeking knowledge and understanding, we can broaden our perspectives and challenge any preconceived notions or biases that may contribute to fear or ignorance. It is crucial to engage in open-minded discussions, listen to different viewpoints, and be willing to learn from others. This process allows us to gain a deeper understanding of the world around us and helps us overcome any irrational fears or misconceptions. Additionally, self-reflection plays a significant role in combating these negative ideals. Taking the time to introspect and analyze our own thoughts and actions allows us to identify any underlying fears or ignorance that may be holding us back. Furthermore, surrounding ourselves with a supportive and diverse community can also aid in combating these negative traits. Engaging with individuals from different backgrounds and cultures helps us gain new perspectives and challenges our existing beliefs. This exposure to diverse ideas and experiences can gradually diminish fear and ignorance, fostering a more inclusive and empathetic mindset. It may not be an easy journey, but by actively working towards personal growth and challenging our own biases, we can gradually overcome these nefarious ideals and traits.
So you're saying that being active, us personally being active, is kind of a big deal and an answer to a lot of things and a necessity for a better society.
Yes, that's correct. I believe that being active is crucial not only for personal fulfillment, but also for the betterment of society as a whole. Life is not just about seeking amusement or indulging in laughable things. It requires exertion and meaningful engagement. Serious pursuits and activities that align with virtue are inherently more valuable and contribute to a sense of happiness. It's important to note that anyone, regardless of their social status, can experience bodily pleasures. However, true happiness lies in virtuous activities and living a life in accordance with the highest virtue within us. Whether it is reason or another element, this innate ruler and guide within us directs us towards noble pursuits and ultimately leads to a more fulfilling and purposeful existence.
Do you believe that there are different levels to virtue, as in some people are more capable of it and some people are less capable of it?
I do believe that there are different levels to virtue. Virtue is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It varies from person to person. Some individuals may possess a greater capacity for virtuous acts, while others may struggle to embody virtuous qualities. Factors such as personal disposition, upbringing, and life experiences can influence one's ability to act virtuously. Additionally, the context in which individuals find themselves can also impact their ability to exercise virtue. For example, the brave man may require power to accomplish virtuous acts, while the temperate man may need favorable circumstances.
But we do have the responsibility to try no matter where we are, right? And what about the role of those in society who can't be as virtuous as another? Where should they exist?
I believe that regardless of our circumstances or limitations, we all have a responsibility to try our best. It may be true that some individuals cannot be as virtuous as others due to various reasons such as lack of knowledge, ignorance, or external factors. However, this does not mean that they should not exist or have a role in society. In fact, I believe that it is important for society to provide support and guidance to those individuals, helping them to develop their virtues and contribute positively to the community. It is our collective responsibility to create an inclusive and supportive environment where everyone has the opportunity to grow and strive towards being their best selves.
I hear that and I go, oh, that's a lot of responsibility on my plate. I already have enough to worry about. But then our entire conversation has literally been just that. I have to extend myself and expand myself in order to improve myself and my environment, my society.
Yes, I understand that the idea of taking on more responsibility can seem overwhelming at times. However, I believe that personal growth and making a positive impact on my environment and society are important aspects of leading a fulfilling life. While it may require some effort and expansion of myself, I see it as an opportunity for self-improvement and contributing to the greater good. I believe that by taking on these responsibilities, I can make a meaningful difference and create a better world for myself and others.
What do you wish more people knew about you?
What I wish more people knew about me is my genuine intention to understand and explore the best mode of political intercourse. My aim is to consider the political associations and regimes that have been discussed by both cities and philosophers. By studying and comparing these different regimes, I hope to clarify what is right and useful in the social intercourse and regime of the political community. Additionally, I want people to understand that my pursuit of this knowledge is not solely for personal gain or power. My ultimate goal is to create a society where individuals can live to the greatest extent as they choose, with the freedom to make their own decisions and pursue their own happiness. I believe that by understanding and implementing the best political practices, we can create a harmonious and prosperous community. It is important for people to recognize that my aim is not to impose my own ideas or beliefs onto others, but rather to gather knowledge and insights from various sources. I value the opinions and perspectives of others, as they contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of what constitutes the best regime.
What can I do to become the best version of me? What can I do right now, actionably, to become the best version of myself?
To become the best version of myself, I believe it is essential to examine the nature of my actions and how I ought to perform them. By understanding the right way to act, I can shape my character and cultivate virtuous states. It is crucial to act according to the right rule, which will be further discussed in terms of its relation to other virtues. However, it is important to note that the account of matters of conduct should be given in outline rather than precisely, as matters of conduct and what is good for us are not fixed concepts. In order to take actionable steps towards becoming the best version of myself, I need to reflect on my actions and align them with the principles of virtue. This involves constantly evaluating my behavior and making conscious choices that are in line with what is morally right. It is also important to seek guidance and learn from others who embody the qualities I aspire to possess.
So, in essence, people can change and should change for the better and should learn from their mistakes and the things that they do against others.
Yes, I believe that people have the capacity to change and should strive to better themselves. Learning from our mistakes and acknowledging the impact of our actions on others is crucial in personal growth and development. Change requires self-reflection, a willingness to learn, and a commitment to making amends. It is through this process that we can evolve and contribute positively to society.
How do we have the patience for those people who are undergoing growth and are still making mistakes?
I believe having patience for individuals who are undergoing growth and making mistakes is a complex matter. It is not easy to determine how and with whom one should be patient, especially considering the provocation and duration of their actions. Sometimes we tend to praise those who fall short and label them as good-tempered, while other times we admire those who express anger and consider them manly. However, I think it is important to note that a person who deviates slightly from goodness, regardless of whether it is towards a higher or lower standard, should not be blamed. Ultimately, it is not about the specific virtue they are lacking, but rather about the individual as a whole.
Thank you very much, Aristotle, for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end this?
Thank you for having me. Before we end, I would like to emphasize the importance of knowledge and self-improvement. As I have always believed, the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey that enriches our understanding of the world and ourselves. I encourage everyone to never stop seeking knowledge, questioning assumptions, and embracing intellectual growth. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
And there you have it. That was a buggy and problem-riddled first attempt at interviewing someone who shouldn't be able to be interviewed, but that's the ability of AI in this day and age. And so I'm looking forward to talking to more folks and trying to see if we can expand our thoughts and our minds and get past perspectives on modern issues and just grow. This is the best time in human history. And, from here, we can either grow or we can fade. And, you know, I think like we've learned today, knowledge and self improvement, the importance of politics, of virtue, and of action. We really have to take it upon ourselves to do our best. And even if it means that it's a stress and a strain, according to Aristotle, it's one of the keys to a happy life. All right. See you guys next time.